Welcome back and thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hashim with US Arab Radio. As we've been talking about the election in next month, there is also an item for the Henry Ford Community College on on the ballot for you to review and vote on. And with us this morning is the president of the Henry Ford Community College, Russ Kalhouna. And good morning, and thank you for being with us.
Good morning, Khalil. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Before we talk about the millage, even though people live in Dearborn, they may not know much about the college. Could you quickly give us a rundown, how many students, what you offer, the different disciplines, so people can be acquainted with the services you offer?
Of course, I'm very proud to do that. This college has been in the community for 85 years, and it's unique. There's 32 community colleges in Michigan, but only one of us serves a city. The rest serve a county or wider, but Henry Ford College serves the city of Dearborn. And what I mean that is that the board that oversees our college is elected only of Dearborn citizens. And that gives us the opportunity to have the distinction of being the only community college that is run by a town. And because of that, we are able to provide particularly great service to our residents. Let me give you some examples. There are about 15,000 students at Henry Ford College, and over 2,700 of them are people who are in high school right now and getting free college at Henry Ford College. And that's as a result of the close connection we have to our hometown, Dearborn. That value is huge. If you send one of your high school students to Henry Ford College for just a 3-credit course, it doesn't cost that student or his or her family anything. And those 3 credits will be usable at a university, which would charge $500 per credit. Now, some students come to Henry Ford College and achieve 10, 20, some even get 60 or 90 credits. And there's programs that span the entire breadth of higher education. So you can learn how to do visual arts, you can learn how to fix an air conditioner, you can learn the history of poetry. If you're an English second language person, you can learn at our English Language Institute. And then, of course, the basic building blocks of higher education: math, science, and English. So for our Dearborn residents, you either can get a free community college education, or if you do have to pay any amount, it's the 3rd lowest tuition in the entire state. And we're so proud of this that we're excited to say we are the college that serves the most percentage of students who are in the lower socioeconomic status. So those students who are deserving of the best opportunity to higher education, but sometimes don't have the means to do it. And we simply wouldn't be able to do it without Dearborn residents supporting us.
Absolutely. My son attends the college. He's part of the early college program, and I want to explain to the listeners what that is, and then you can elaborate on it. From my point of view, he would save me 2 years of college, meaning paying for 2 years of college, and he will save 2 years of college when he graduates with an associate's next year at the age of 19, which is really incredible. This is a really great program. I don't know if I did it any justice. If you want to elaborate on it, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I didn't know your son was at our early college, and you did a great job with it. I would just add that those 2 years of college that your son is getting and your family is getting for free, they'll transfer to Wayne State and University of Michigan and Eastern Michigan. And as long as he does well here, and I'm sure he will, he won't even have to ask for permission to get into those institutions. We're really proud to say we're the only community college that has guaranteed admission at U of M, the Dearborn, Wayne State University, and Eastern Michigan for our students who achieve an associate degree. And for those students like your son who are attending while they're in high school, and your listeners probably don't know, but your son is going for 5 years from 9th grade all the way to a 13th year at Henry Ford College. And every single one of those credits, all 60 of those credits, are free. And your son gets to choose, like all of his friends in the early college, whether he wants to go on a career track that is health careers or advanced manufacturing, or to become a teacher. So those are students who are already contemplating where they're going to find a good job.
Absolutely. What I like about it is that it saves him time in schooling, and it saves me 2 years of paying for college, which is, I'm sure I pay a very small amount through my property tax, but if you compare it to the tuition, it's a huge difference there. I also I heard through doing some research, for my son again, you have a very well-known and appreciative, not appreciative, but well-regarded nursing program. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, our nursing program is the largest program in the state that offers a 2-year nursing program. That's called the Associate Degree of Nursing. We have the largest program there, and it is very, very successful. It's so successful that we were proud to join with Mayor Abdullah Hammoud and Corewell Health last month to be the first college in the history of Michigan to guarantee its graduates a job. So if you come to Henry Ford College and get into the nursing program, and that is a competitive program, but if you get in that program, then Corewell Health has guaranteed you a job in their health system, which, as you probably know and your listeners know, Dearborn Beaumont or Dearborn Oakwood is now called Corewell.
Corewell, that's
Dearborn.
true. That's true.
And our nursing students are the only nursing students in the state that can say that Corewell and any other employer has guaranteed them jobs. Yeah. And, you mentioned, Khalil, that you're saving money with your son in the early college, and that's true. We estimate that families like yours will save anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 of higher education costs by coming to the early college. And you're right, as a property owner, you pay taxes on your home. And I'll just tell you, so do I. I live here in Dearborn. I'm proud of it. My kids attend the public schools. And the average home in Dearborn is worth a little bit less than $200,000. But if your home was worth $200,000, the Henry Ford College tax on your house would be about $320 for an entire year. So you'd be paying a little less than $23 a month to get access to that $50,000 of savings that your family is having.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And what we're asking for here at the end of February, on February 27th, is for voters to merely continue the same amount of funding. So the ballot will have a millage proposal for Henry Ford College, but it is not an increase. It is the same amount of funding that $200,000 home would be giving us, about $320 a year.
Yeah. See, when you read the ballot initiative, it divides it into 3 and 1. Could you explain that?
Yeah. So historically, Khalil, we had a 3 mil and a 1 mil millage. And those are terms that relate to how much your property is taxed. We decided to put those two together and make it a 4 mil. Instead of 1 3 mil and 1 1 mil, it's a total of 4 mils now, and we're combining them. But what we've also said is that we want to reduce the number of years that taxpayers will be paying those 4 mils. Instead of 10 years, we've knocked it down to 8 years, with hopes that we'll be able to reduce the taxes 8 years from now. And one thing I'll just say that I think maybe some of your listeners are thinking is, well, I don't really want to vote. It's a presidential primary. I'm not in love with either of the presidential candidates. And I would ask you, your listeners, to consider you should absolutely vote. You don't have to vote in the presidential primary, but you do have the opportunity to still vote on the local issues, which include Henry Ford College's millage. And it's so important, Khalil, because it's 20% of our budget. And that keeps our costs down. It allows us to offer these early college programs that you and I have already discussed. And if we don't pass this budget, I hate to say it, but we will have to make difficult financial decisions and start to think about whether we offer all the programs that we offer or we keep our prices as low as they are.
Absolutely, absolutely. Whether you have children in college or not, this is an investment in education. And as you mentioned, for an average home of 200,000 with the 4 mills, that's $400 a year going to education and to the services that you offer. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's actually less than $400 a year. You're basically paying about $22 a month right now. Okay. If you own a house that's worth $200,000. We want to keep it right there. And the community benefit is huge. We actually paid a consultant to come in and analyze how much the community benefits from us. Because we thought, there may be some taxpayers who thought, well, I don't have any children in college and I'm not interested in this. The first thing it does is it maintains the value of your property. because no town has a community college and a university like we have, and this would be continued to have us be a supporter of that. Now, there's 15,000 people coming in and out of our campus every day. That brings a lot of financial ramifications. We had it tested, and it supports 20,000 jobs. Over 1 year, it brings in economic activity of $1.4 billion. And here's why. All of our students, the majority of whom come from outside of Dearborn, they come and bring us their tuition dollars. They need to use our services at our businesses. They need to find places to live in Dearborn. And those folks who come from outside of Dearborn, they pay almost double the rate. So Dearborn citizens pay almost half of what our tuition is for outside students from outside of Dearborn.
Absolutely.
And all of this is to say that this college has a positive ramification for you, if you have high school students like you, Khalil, and even for those of you who run businesses that don't have high school students, and even those property owners who don't have a business and don't have high school students, it keeps your property value strong.
Absolutely. This is a great investment into the community, because you're educating our children, and these children coming back, working in the community, giving back to the community, and improving the businesses as well. This is a really great investment. And as you mentioned, the economic benefits of it is really incredible. Anytime you have a college or university in the area, it brings in a lot of people. These people shop in the area, they buy gasoline, they buy a lot of stuff, and that brings all of this traffic. And traffic creates economic benefit to the businesses in the area. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, the last thing I'll just say is we're proud of the fact that our community college, Dearborn's Community College, serves a diverse population. And I know a lot of your listeners may be like me. My family were immigrants, and they wanted a shot at the American dream. And we're from West Michigan. When my dad immigrated, he got his shot at the American dream at a community college there. And I'm so proud of the fact that that's what we're doing for my colleagues and my fellow citizens in Dearborn. It's just unique across the state to have a community college where you can literally ride your bike from one side of the town to the other to be at the community college and see a diverse culture, see a group of people committed to letting people who haven't had a long history of higher education. You come here and you get an associate degree, you're going to make $800,000 more over your lifetime. You come here and you get your first 2 years of college and then transfer right here into U of M Dearborn, and you get your bachelor's degree, you're going to make $1.2 million more over your lifetime. No community in Michigan has this close and this powerful of a community college. And I'm simply asking voters to continue to supporting us. No more money than they've already given, but continue the money they've continued to give. And I'd be grateful to answer any questions any of your community has.
Absolutely. I just wanted to warn people not to be confused with incorrect information. If they need to know more about it, where can they get information on that?
Yeah, I encourage them to just put in their Google window www.hfcc.edu, and they'll see all kinds of information about the millage and about our institution. And then, of course, if they want to ask me questions directly, I'd be grateful. They can just Google Henry Ford College President email, and I'll respond personally to every email that I get.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your taking the time to be with us today. And again, I would remind our listeners, this is an investment into the community and the renewal of the millage. We encourage you to, go out and vote. Even if you don't want to vote for a president, any president, just go out and vote for this millage.
Thank you, Khalil. I wish you the best of these cold winter days.
Thank you. Thank you so much.